What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat, and once again, it is great to have you here. We are playing Project Zomboid, as you can see. So, in a recap, and also there's some things to talk about. So, as a recap, we found ourselves all of the tools we need to do any type of construction that might be on the horizon. That's a really good thing, considering the game has thrown a curveball our way at this point. Now, as I was filling up the water last night, I finished the episode, and then I spent a day filling up water. All of our water supplies fell out, so the faucets are no longer working, the tubs are no longer working, and so they all have like one charge left in them. I did manage to get all of our things refilled, and so now what we really want to do is focus on scavenging. So that's the order of the day, is just running around finding as many foods that are preservable. Our foods in our fridge are going bad. They're starting to rot. In fact, all of our bread went bad. All of our strawberries have gone bad. Everything is just going dead completely on us. I don't know if there's any specific way to tell if your refrigerator is running, other than just seeing how its legs are moving. But, oh, that was a terrible old joke. But for now, the goals of our day are scavenging. Scavenging is the word from here on out because we are on our own. I didn't expect the game to run us down the rails so quickly with regards to food and water, but unfortunately, anywhere between day 1 and 60, the power can go out, and so can the water system, and that's going to be a problem for us. So we're going to be on the lam from now on, trying to find ourselves anything we can scrounge up. This parking lot doesn't look that dangerous. I'm tempted to just handle this situation as best as possible. So he's down. Let's take a look behind us. Oh no, don't open up, menu. I don't like you like that. Don't open up to me. I don't care. We've got chips, we've got some of these. Oh no, I'm carrying around a bunch of crap in my backpack. So we're gonna have to go back home real quick. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention well enough. And down he goes. Now we are hungry at the moment, so our hits aren't gonna be doing quite as much damage. But because we made a spike baseball bat in the last episode, our combat efficiency has gone up by quite a bit. I just heard a female moan, and I'm not sure what to think about that. Oh, we're making all kinds of friends. How fun is that? Just making all kinds of friends up in here. It is like Mr. Rogers' Undead Neighborhood. Die already. God. Just wasting all my durability here, just beating on one zombie. Let's see what we can get done here. Run away! Run away! Be safe! That one's down, and we are kind of winded. Nope, and let's go ahead and walk in a circle for a moment. If you ever need to disengage from a combat, just kind of walk in a circle, assuming you don't have any ridiculously quick ones. It should allow you to get yourself recharged. Another thing is the game seems to have a bug where it kills, if you have two zombies laying on the ground and you hit one of them, it should kill both of them when the other one dies. I don't know how that bug is resolved, but it seems to be linking the health of two zombies together. See if we can break into this location. I'm going to step back for just a moment after we break in, just to make sure that the whole thing is legit, because these pancake houses and things tend to have alarms, as I recall. Check these trash cans. There's a sheet of paper. Not that useful. Not that useful. Looks like we actually don't have an alarm, so let's go ahead and swing through the window here, and we'll see what we can find for ourselves. We got a newspaper. I am going to grab that. We are overweight at the moment, so that's going to be a problem. We're probably not going to be able to loot this much, but just knowing that it's a little bit safer is going to work for us here. Got some chips, which we're going to grab, a kettle. We got some spray cans, some things of that nature. Anything that we can put water in is probably a good idea, but let's grab the chips for now since they're light and they aren't going to get us into trouble. Grab the kettle as well. Throw the kettle in there. We'll also throw all the chips in there since we do have quite a few of them. And I'd absolutely like to carry as much as possible on our way back, just so I don't have to make multiple trips. Tuna can, which is going to be nice because that's non-perishable. Also got some coffee here, which I think I'm going to take. There we go. And so I think we're about okay with our situation. Our water bottle is still okay. I think we can make another run back here, though. So don't fret about that. We'll eat some fresh food back at our home. And we made a just giant mess over here, but all things considered, I think the rewards that we're going to reap from clearing out the Waffle House are going to just come back in spades. So let's go around the trees here, because I'm willing to bet that there's a bunch of zombies up in the street, and I don't want to have to deal with that for the time being. We want to watch out for rotten food at this point, too, because rotten food can kill you. What they don't tell you well, I guess somebody might tell you. The developers might tell you in another LP or in the frequently asked questions, but what's not made readily apparent, honestly, I think it's probably just a common sense factor. Don't eat rotten food. Don't do it. I've lost characters to it because I got desperate, and there's like a rotten banana laying there and you're half starving, so you eat it anyways. You get like crazy rip-roaring diarrhea and find yourself just whirly-birding in the corner, just out of every end, dying, and then finally zombies come and eat your poo-covered corpse. The whole thing is disgusting for everyone involved. The zombies don't really want to eat you. It's more motorized instinct that forces them to do it. You don't really want to die. You don't want to be eaten, but at the same time, you're dying of diarrhea, which, if you had to pick something to die of, that would not be my main choice. There we go. I'd prefer just to kind of clonk out in my sleep if I had to pick something. Because so many things are going rotten in here, let me eat the nanner real fast. And so we're going to eat the banana because it's not rotten. And we're going to start storing all of the excess stuff in here. I will clean out the rotten food in between episodes, but for now, I'm really happy we made a reasonable haul at the Waffle House. So first and foremost, I want to get that all squared away. So we'll put everything that's edible in here. Got enough chips to last us a couple days. Got some extra cooking pots, which we're going to fill up with water as best as possible. We've got an extra orange soda, which is going to be useful too. I don't know why I'm carrying around a sheet with me right now. Let's go ahead and pick a cabinet here, and we'll throw this other sheet in there just to make sure that it's put away properly. Got an extra kitchen knife and some kettles and things. That's fine. Probably should have filled up the kettles and the cooking pots while I was on location back there. I can drop these, actually. Let's just... I don't want to do that. Go into the drawer. Sometimes the game is a little finicky about dragging and dropping things. If I had to put something on my wish list, I think it would be the tightness of just dragging and dropping things from one location to the next. That would be what would make me the most happiest. To be just absolutely grammatically abhorrent right there. Let's put the knife in there. Throw the rest of the cigarettes in there because the cigarettes in this game are remarkably weighty. I don't really know what they're putting in those things, but they are both heavy as well as unhealthy, so we'll have to live with that whole situation. Probably drop the newspapers and everything else in here. We haven't had a situation where we have to sit around and wait yet, but let's put our farming supplies in there as well. I'd love to get some farming going, but we haven't found ourselves a hoe, which is one of those things that we desperately need before we do anything else. So let's go ahead and find our way back over to the Waffle House as rapidly as possible. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon right now. How long have we survived? 15 days. I believe that may be the shortest amount of time that has ever gone by that I've seen. This may be the earliest I've ever seen the water go out and the power go out. And it's weird that they went out simultaneously too. I guess it sort of makes sense because the power grid and the water grid are sort of linked. One relies upon the other, I guess. I would very much love to see a system where you can put pots and pans outside to catch this rain. It's a system that's non-sustainable as it is right now. Your death warrant is signed for when the water goes out, in my opinion. Just me personally, I think your death warrant is signed when the water goes out. So somebody that gets 60 days of leeway is going to have a much better run-through than somebody who has 15 days. But I'm not going to complain about it. We're just going to keep on rolling with the punches because that's part of what makes the game fun, is dealing with these little challenges and problems that come up as you play. So let's see what we can get out of the Waffle House. We'll get out of the rain here as much as possible. Did I check this right here? I did. It had a newspaper or something in it, as I recall. Nothing over in that corner that's out of our view range. Let's check some of these fridges over here. A lot of rotten stuff. Rotten eggs, rotten radishes. A lot of wasted stuff, unfortunately. Yep. We're just going to have to live with that situation. Nothing in the ovens at all. Let's check these other cabinets over here. A couple bags of chips. We're going to grab all of those. Some kitchen knives, some TV dinners. I don't know if those need to be refrigerated. They're in a cabinet, so I'm going to say no. I've also got some tuna over here. Another kitchen knife. I'm just going to stock up on as many weapons as possible because you never know what we're going to have to fall back on. This whiskey bottle may not look that valuable, but we can use it to fill up with water as time goes along, so we'll bear that in mind as we snag it. We'll take the kettles and everything else from this location. It is literally go time right now. It is that time, guys, where we're surviving on our own wits at this point. There's not going to be a whole lot of bail us out, oh shit handles to kind of save ourselves. Let's take a look at these two. I'm not going to take rolling pins because they're not very good weapons. I don't think the frying pans are as well. We got instant popcorn here. What is that going to do for me? It probably makes me unhappy or something of that nature. I'm more thirsty because it's salty. I don't know if pans can be filled with water. I'm not going to risk it and waste the weight for now. We are going to take the kettle and the gardening spray can, I suppose, and the other whiskey bottle. We'll take all of this stuff that we can hold on to. And what I'll do is in between episodes, yeah, it raises our thirst. In between episodes, I'll run out and fill this stuff as best as I can. If we can fill things in the rain, let me know. I'm not aware of that situation if it is available. I think we could put the whiskey bottle in there too. Is that going to buy us a little kilo or pound of weight? It is. It's going to buy us a little bit of weight. So let's look and see what else we can conceivably bring along with us. Looks like all of this is full over here, so we may find ourselves making multiple runs to and fro back from this location. Let's take the broccoli seeds. I don't know when we're going to get around to farming. And then just make a mental note that we're pretty much done except for this corner over here. Cooking pot's going to be too heavy for us to bring, I think. Yeah, 1 pound. Well, we might get away with it. Let's see. We got away with it. So let's go ahead and head back to our house at this point. There's a lot of sinks here, and that's something that I like to see. These extra sinks are going to give us the ability to refill some of our water. Although for the time being, we're going to leave that one. We're going to table it for now. To quote Jonathan Colton, although lots of people use that word, but let's go ahead and sneak on out the back. There's no zombies available for the time being to impede our progress, so that's really good. At least we don't have to deal with that issue here and up front. I'm going to try and fill as many of these water objects from all these outlying houses, which should have 1 or 2 charges left in them. From what I understand, the way the water works is that once the water goes out, every faucet and bathtub has about 2 charges left in it, and it can charge anything from a mug on up to a coffee pot or a cook pot, basically. And so you really, really, really want to be pot motivated. And while I was pot motivated all through college, what you'll find myself now doing is finding as many cooking pots as possible, and I'm only going to fill those with water because they're going to last us the longest. We're going to put those in our inventory, take a quick drink, and then run out to scavenge in most cases. Now, I don't think you can transfer water from one object to another, which is what I would really like to see, basically taking water from cook pots and putting it in my personal water bottle, but for the time being, we're just going to deal with the situation as it comes. So let's dump off the rest of this here while we wait for our tiredness to kick in. It's 6:30. Got a little bit of time to play with here. Some chocolate left over. Let's see what perishables we have left to handle our hunger here. We got beef jerky, which never goes bad. We've got some carrots, which I don't think carrots even really need to be refrigerated. And so that should handle our hunger for now. Take a look at this central cabinet here. There we go, and we're going to move all of our water objects into here. I know this is thrilling video watching, but we want to start stockpiling as best as possible. A lot of people like to tailor and tune stuff like this out. We need to drink that alcohol at some point. I don't think we can pour it out on the ground, which is what I personally would do. It's not going to let me put anything else in the drawer, unfortunately. Looks like we're about filled up on space anyways, so something we're going to have to just live with. We're going to have to find ourselves another cabinet, it looks like. So let's go ahead and I'm going to annex this second cabinet for the remainder of all of our stuff. And we need to alleviate our weight so that we can go out in the morning just fully ready to steal as much stuff as possible from all the dead guys around the neighborhood. I think the rest of what we have on hand is, yeah, just food. So let's go over to the fridge, and I'm going to swap out a lot of this rotten stuff for the stuff that'll hold us over for a while. So there goes the rest of the tuna. We actually did a pretty good job today. I'm happy with the spoils of war today. We managed to grab ourselves enough food to get by for at least a week. A lot of things are rotten here, and I'm going to have to dispose of those. And it's not letting me grab them, unfortunately. The peas are going to stay good for us, it looks like. Our watermelon has strangely not gone rotten on us. The cabbage has been rotten for quite some time, just sitting in there stinking like farts. So we can't have friends over because of the nasty cabbage, but we're going to live with the whole situation. We're a tad sleepy right now. I'm going to wait till a bit more tiredness kicks in. Did I close the front door? Yep, a question I ask myself every single night before I go to sleep. Although it's more like, did I lock the front door? Being the paranoid individual that I am. And let's just stand here for a moment and wait for the next indicator of tiredness to kick in. And so there it is. We're officially fully tired. It's only 10 o'clock though. I don't like to fall asleep too early because you wake up too early to get anything done. You end up wasting your own time. Oh good, gunshots. That's going to be fun. We'll sleep for the time being, but because all the windows are covered, I don't think any zombies are going to mess with us. We are going to have to do a perimeter sweep though as soon as we wake up. So let's go get to that. Ooh, and there's even more gunshots. Funsies, 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 funsies. Is our water bottle empty yet? No, it's not. So we're still good on water for the time being. Got about, oh, I don't know if it's a kilo or what this weight is done. I'm going to assume it's a kilo because I think this is done by a British company, possibly? I don't know. We'll find out. Let me throw the rest of this stuff in the fridge that I've forgotten about, the ramen noodles and the chocolate. There we go. And so that should hold us over for a little bit. I am going to go ahead and bring a bag of chips with me for the road just in case we get hungry. And let's do our perimeter sweep here. I don't know whether my bat is in decent condition. It's got plus 60, so we've got a little while left on this bat. Because we heard gunshots, we definitely want to make a sweep of the area around our house and make sure there's no hordes that are just kind of standing around. And if they are, we want to draw them away from our location. Doesn't look like that's the case, though, so let's eat some chips as we run along. There we go. We've gotten ourselves our chips. And so let's head back once again to the Waffle House. It looks like we're going to be occupying ourselves primarily with the Waffle House during this episode. It's a good place. It's a good place for us. I loathe to leave it off camera because we are going to be looting a lot of good stuff, and I want you as a viewer to have a feeling for the amount of supplies we have. And if I do a lot of stuff off camera, I feel as though I'm depriving you guys, so that when I'm like, oh, but we have perfectly good supplies present, you'll be like, well, how did we get those, you know? And that's something that for me, the continuity of the whole thing, for me, if I was viewing the LP, breaking the fourth wall here for a moment would bother me. So I prefer to keep it all on camera for now and just break off the boring stuff like sorting and things of that nature. We are wet at the moment, and barring any crass jokes, we're just going to move forward. I think I finished off looking in the corner over here. Did this restock? Because I don't remember seeing these canned soups and things here. Oh, I ate that on accident. Can I cancel that? No! Damn. Okay, well that's a bit of a letdown. We'll go ahead and grab the rest of these. We'll take the dog food, which we may eat on a lark if things get nasty for us. I think we have enough knives for the time being. Check the trash can here. Nothing in the trash can. I did want these 9mm bullets, though. So let's grab all of these 9mm rounds. It's going to use up a little bit of our storage space. That's okay, though. It's okay. Got some spoons and things over here. This large buffet serving tray area looked like it might be lucrative, but unfortunately has nothing in it. Grab all these dog foods, all these tunas. Grab that whiskey bottle, of course, because we're going to want to fill it up with water. Take the kettle. Take as many of these seeds as possible, because we don't have the tools to do any farming yet, but once we do, I would very much like to have those on hand. So this is one of the risk versus reward aspects of the game. For those of you that are new to the game, when you go into the city and you rob areas like this is what you stand to gain. You stand to gain loads and loads of useful stuff, but you're putting your life at risk. We had to do a little bit of clearing right there, and there's no telling what's in front of this location. So that's something to think about. Additionally, these cans are really heavy, and it's kind of boring running things back and forth between locations while you're doing these sorts of things. So it's not so bad while you're playing by yourself, but while I'm filming, I find that it's not thrilling to watch. So we've got peanut butter. We've got a lot of non-perishables, which is very cool. I think that whiskey bottle should pop us down to 8 pounds, and then we've got 2 tuna cans as well. I'm not a big fan of tuna. Sometimes I get a craving for tuna, but in general, because tuna are about to go extinct, I tend to avoid it. I don't like to... It's not an industry that I choose to support, so I think we need to back off the tuna a little bit. I never liked it that much anyway, so it's an easy thing for me to give up. It's always easy to be a conservationist type individual when it's easy to give something up. It's when it's things like bacon that I have to give up that I'm just like, no sir, this is a line we shall not cross. There is a a red line, and we have not found it yet, except with bacon. Bacon is, I can't give it up, and until they've tried to feed, I had a roommate who was a killer vegan. And what I mean by killer vegans is there are vegans who are accepting of other people, and then there are vegans that just, they give you just hell every time you try and eat anything. And she was one of the latter. She didn't guilt trip you much about it, but she definitely gave you condescending looks from across the room whenever you made your double bacon turkey mega burger before you went to bed at night. And it was just one of those things. One of those things. Flying monkeys all over the house and the rafters. People that watch my Don't Starve remember I had a rant about it. But let's go ahead and head back to the house and stash everything we can. We've got an afternoon left to take care of business here, so I want to make this as rapid as possible. And most of this stuff doesn't need to be refrigerated, but for the time being, this is just kind of my all-purpose storage location. Oh, I've got all those breads and things. That's why my weight ran out quicker than expected. So let's drag and drop as many of these useful goodies over here. I'm going to keep the chips on hand because I feel like I'm going to get hungry pretty soon. I don't know what the coffee's good for. We'll consider making a coffee pot. Maybe it keeps you awake a little bit longer. Not positive. You may be able to make a coffee pot in certain situations. Ramen noodles I'm going to save till last because they make us thirsty, and anything that makes us thirsty is a risk. Surprisingly, peanut butter doesn't make us thirsty. Orange soda. We have a lot of orange sodas. I'm pretty happy about that. We'll throw the whiskey bottles in there too, even though basically we're gonna have to have a binge section for the whiskey bottles where we just get ridiculously hammered and just sit around the house. I'll probably do it off camera just so we can use the storage receptacle. Oh, we're out of space in our weapon cabinet too. That's fun. That is enjoyable. So let's think of another place to put the remainder of these bullets. I suppose we can find a location like this cabinet right here, probably a good spot for it. Throw the rest of the bullets in there. Once we get those all out of the way, consider throwing the extra kitchen knife in here. We are just loaded for combat right now. I'm pretty happy with our weapon situation. A lot of games I find myself not being able to acquire the weapons that I want, which is a downer. It's a big time downer, but this has not been one of those plays. Let me throw the kettle under the sink here, or we reappropriated this over here, didn't we? Yeah, for water storage. We'll throw the kettle in there too. And while I'm walking here, we're going to get rid of the rest of this rotten food. So let's take a walk back to the Waffle House. We'll drag and drop this stuff to the ground. There they go. Cabbage seeds we're going to hold on to, but the cabbages... Oh, the shift click selects multiple things. That's fun. That's fun. So there goes a bunch of bread onto the ground. Hopefully if any other survivors come along in previous patches... Sorry, not in previous patches. That would be time traveling, and that would be incredibly impressive. I think you guys would be less interested in my LP if I was available for time travel. If I could pull that off, I would have bigger fish to fry. I'll put it like that. So let's cut the normal way that we do. I always go through the fence right here because I'm pretty sure there's a mob up there, even though I don't really remember. And let's fly through here, and we'll try and loot the remainder. This is a big loot run for us. This is just an extravaganza, to say it excitedly, of looting. And bouncing back through the window, we'll see what remainder is here. I hope we don't have to make another trip. We've already made a lot of trips. The fact of the matter is that because an alarm did not go off on us, this has been a really fortuitous trip for us with no pains. Usually there's a little bit of pain with clearing a place like this. You gotta earn it. We didn't really have to earn this place, and that makes me feel like karma's ready to backfire on me at any moment, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Grab the remainder of the 9mm rounds. I don't know why a Waffle House has bullets in a drawer. Seems like they're serving up something else more than just sustenance. Maybe ass whoopings. Maybe this is a mafia Waffle House. Maybe the mafia is moving into a new business plan. The flour, I don't know if we can cook anything with that. Now that the power's out, we can't really use any ovens or anything, so I'm just going to leave it. We could possibly make a flour bomb. From what I understand, flour is very flammable, and you can make an explosive out of it, but we'll leave that for greater minds than my own. This is not a Breaking Bad type situation where, hey, chocolate! As a chocoholic, I will accept that as a gift from the Choco Gods. Even more ramen noodles down in here. Whereas I was very, very worried about our food supply at the beginning of this episode, I'm not feeling that way at this point. This must be like a ridiculous steakhouse Waffle House or something, because the amount of whiskey they have on hand, nobody drinks that much in the morning, and if they do, they should seriously consider finding help. Alright, so let's take a look at our inventory and see... Oh, it's already throwing them into bags for us, so I actually dislike it when that happens. You can set it up to automatically put things in bags for you if you have it selected already. You can click on this right here, and as you're looting, it'll auto-put things in there, but that has the side effect... God, I'm gonna have to make multiple trips to this place, but it's okay. I will... Actually, let me know down in the comments if you want me to do another trip of this place on camera. Otherwise, I'll just loot the whole thing by my lonesome. We've got a little bit of hunger going on. Let's eat a bag of chips here. Num 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 num. There it is. And so we're good to go. We're running out of time here, so I'm going to cut this one short while I run back. I feel like I've run out of things to talk about for the time being, and I need to contemplate for a little bit. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode, a fantastic episode, if I do say so myself, of Project Zomboid. I hope you choose to join me here in the future, and that you'll take care out there, everybody.